Morning, guys. Welcome to today's live pre-market data analysis for Bank Nifty. We are on 27th of January. Let me just quickly share my screen. Yesterday, sorry, not yesterday, but Wednesday expiry, amazing expiry with, a lot of people have lost more. So let me start first with that. And there was a news factor of the Heidelberg report about Adani and all that stuff. So pretty good in terms of the liquidation which happened. So what I mean by that is good liquidation wherein there were stops. So basically, if I just zoom out a bit, so what I mean by liquidation is 41,600, 41,500. So what has happened here is, this is where the supply got shut off. And then, we had continuation higher. Then we had a sort of a retest of this level. And then again, so overall auction was, basically it was nothing but a business, So supply, whose cost basis is here, they're exiting here and building a positions. Again, they are building their positions here. So these are shorts who are exiting their shorts here, and then they are getting buy positions. After building the buy positions, again they are the ones who are selling in strength here, and then slowly, and this is where a bigger accumulation or a sort of sideways development was happening. While this was happening, so there were a lot of liquidity present, below the 41,800 levels. So around this level and also this particular low of 26th of December. So Friday, what we saw on Friday was nothing but the inventory adjustment wherein the overall supply was pretty strong, and they were just hit the auction, or the price was looking for to search for liquidity levels, and liquidity is where a lot of stop resting orders were there. And clearly, it was just a liquidation move. And then, we saw sort of price stability between 41,600 and 41,800. So for me, this is an important range today. So let me just zoom in, to the to the Wednesday's profile. And today being a Friday, one of the areas which I'm clearly looking at is, so 42,000, this is where again the auction reached here, and again we saw a sort of a supply coming in. So let me just split this profile, last profile. Now we will get some more clarity. Okay, so from the price development perspective, if you saw, if you see here, based on the data points which is available, where is supply present? So currently I'm seeing supply at 42,100, then 42,000 is where, and then we saw sort of rejection at 41,900. So for me, these are a very three important levels, because if the price reaches higher, I'm expecting looking for responsive selling. So that's the overall all behavior. Second thing is why the auction stopped below 41,600, because overall, if you see the path, we dropped below, then we created a higher low. We found some supply, and again we dropped below, and we are now, it closed above 41,600. So for me, 41,600 is important level, but it's a bit weak. But we have broken, we have reached an area where there was good balance developed. Okay, so for me, this is a choppy zone. This is a balance zone where both buyers and sellers, they agreed, for a particular price, and we had a sort of something called price stability. Okay, this is an important factor, to consider, for the players who wants to go long. So they might have created some positions. The smart money, they might have created some positions because overall, we are just chopping in this range, and there is some stability in the price. Okay. So this so this is the overall, what I'm looking at. But overall, from the inventory perspective, it is short. All the players, plus from the order flow perspective also. So we got single prints, we got unfinished auctions based on the order flow charts. So a lot of anomalies, were created, and everyone was just wanted to sell. They were all in the mood of selling. So what's the OI data telling me? Okay, so now things should start getting clear in your mind. So if you see 42,000 is the level of equilibrium. Okay. So current time is 9:01. So the pre-market data would have opened. I'll see, I'll try to cover, for again, next 7 to 8 minutes and see, if we can look at the pre-open data and see, where, but right now what I see is 42,000 is the level of equilibrium. People who shorted below 41,600. So there were latecomers or, the laggards who came in. So this is the area where, the sellers or, there are trapped shorts. Okay. So currently for me, this is the level of resistance or, this is the level of equilibrium. If the option opens below 42,000. So if it opens below 42,000, this is where, we can expect some sort of responsive selling, so I'm looking for the supply to come in, and that's the overall behavior. Now assume, the price opens within this single print zone or, in this single print zone or, just at 42,000. Then, what I would be observing is, if am I getting a sideways development? Because and then am I going to, then I'll be expecting for a short covering. The reason is, this is where, the buyers, so the Friday, sorry, today's Friday, but, Wednesday is where, we had a sort of a accumulation or, a price stability form between 41,900 to 41,600. So if the price goes again, I'll be seeing whether I get a responsive buying or not, so that's the overall behavior, is what I'm overall looking at. But from the OI data perspective, 42,000 is the equilibrium. 42,500 is where, the maximum sellers or, maximum call positions have been created. Now, why are this less? So ideally we should see an ascending or, descending. So maybe something like this or maybe something like this sort of behavior, but I'm not looking at that. It's not, the reason why it is not that is these sellers are not confident. So basically at round numbers or round levels is where, they have created bigger positions. At the at the lower levels is where they have created less number of positions. So that's why, I'm seeing less number of, OI change here. Okay. So 42,000, just observe 42,000. And second is, the previous day low. So 41,600 and another, is 42,500. So if you see 42,500 is also where maximum put positions have been created. So inventory is positioned here. So I'll be looking, where the auction opens. So the time is 9:04. Let me open the data okay, so it is opening flat. It's still working on. So in the meantime, let me just quickly take you to the, option chain and, what is it that currently I'm able to decode for, and this is for this week, right? The data which you see here is, it's a cumulative combining of all the weeks and month. But, if we just look at, okay, so this week has expired. I should look at next week. So for the next week's data, what is it that I'm looking at? So first of all is, a change in OI and volume, so these are the two factors, which I look at. So let me first look at round numbers. So 41,000, 41,500, 42,000 and 42,500. Okay. So first let me see. So here about 19,000 contracts were created, less volume. 41,500 put out of the money, 19,000, good volume, about 3 lakh. Here on the call side, we have got, about 85,000 contracts created and, good volume or transacted, and 40,500 is 58,000 and, 3,62,000. Okay. So overall, if you see, so I'll be just looking at this number. So why is it 19K here, 19K here? And why is it 85K here and, 12K, sorry, 42,000 and 42,500, 58K here. Okay. So more, this tells me that more inventory has been created on the call side. So if we open sort of a gap up, these are the guys, where maximum liquidity is present and they will be the ones who will be under the water and they might exit. But odds are less because, overall, so don't look at the volume here. Also, it's 393, 362. Here also, it's 316, 262. But why less number of puts were created compared to why more number of calls were created? So start looking at that. You will get the clue. So what I'm seeing is, more numbers, so more inventory is created here. Okay. So this can act as a level of resistance, but I'm interested more in, 41,800 to 41,600. So 20K, 18K, and here, 8K, 19K. Yeah. So overall, it's pretty balanced. And, so less number of puts are created compared to if I just combine the number of calls. Okay. So good resistance. So we might see a good fight, or, just a dull, boring day. So let me just refresh. It's 9:05. So if you see 9 are advancing toward declines and 1 is unchanged. So which are the ones which are advancing? So IDFC, IndusInd, Bank of Baroda, where is HDFC? So HDFC is flat. Okay, so we can have a sort of a flat opening. So assume it's, not assume, it's 9:07. I think in one more minute, we will be getting the data. So, let me just quickly switch over and, we'll look at, what's happening in the world global market. So overall, Dow it was positive, and currently it's trading flat. Nikkei is flat. Hang Seng is flat, or, negative. Okay. So US market is sort of flat, whereas, the Asian markets are, negative. So, it's a mixed signal, no clarity in terms of, where the price is going to open, but we'll get some clarity in the pre-open data right now. And, this is a good sign. Dollar index is reducing. Dollar USD INR is, sort of stabilized. So it was 82 and now it is 81.5. Crude is the another factor, so earlier it was 80, now it is 87. And, gold is also, the price is also increasing. So it's not giving me any clarity, in terms of, what is going to open and, what is going to happen. So let me switch back and, let me just look at we should have some pre-open data. Okay. So we are opening gap down. So 41,382, about 265 points. Okay. So this is where, so now this puts, who came here, these are the guys who are underwater, and, expect, so 41,500 as a level of resistance, and previous day low is also a level where, I'll be looking for some responsive selling and, low, auction development to the lower side. Okay. So this is the current data or my trade plan based on, so I'm looking for rejection as previous day low. I'm also looking at 41,500, how the reaction happens. And if it rejects, then, next step is 41,000, so that is the overall data points which I'm looking at. So thank you. And yeah, so I'll see how the auction develops, and see you next week. So look at the levels, observe the video today, go over the weekend, and look through all my past videos. I got more than 200 videos, or 250 plus. I've just stopped counting, but yeah, go through it so that you are able to understand my thought process better. Okay. So thank you, everyone. Have a great trading day, and stay light. If you're not clear, just stay light. Yeah. Thank you. Bye.